Really weird stuff. That's very weird.
Really Weird Stuff is a holistic Twin Peaks podcast. That means we discuss each episode within the context of the series as a whole. In other words, spoilers abound. Welcome to Really Weird Stuff, episode 14, where we will discuss Twin Peaks season 2, episode 6, Demons. Yee. Written by Harley, Peyton, and Robert Engels. I'm one of your hosts, Jessica Baxter.
I'm Annie Malone.
And to join us to talk about this episode, such a fun episode, is my husband, Chris Brugos.
Woo. I'm back, baby! Robert Engels, that name is familiar to me.
It's not, You're thinking of Robert Englund.
Oh, you're Freddy.
Freddy Krueger, I think, because this guy only does this.
Okay.
But yes, I know what you mean. Robert Engels is like an almost famous name of the 1980s. And directed by Lesli Linka Glatter, who I meant to look up what other episodes she directed. I know she directed Cooper's Dreams, which is a fun one.
Yeah.
That's the one where they go to the cabins, the various cabins, and everyone's got their guns out all the time. She's got some interesting shots that she does.
Lady director.
A lady.
Yeah.
A woman.
A woman.
And this episode originally aired on November 3rd, 1990. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's do it.
Right.
It opens on a lot of very vaginal
Yes.
organs.
Very vagina, that first shot.
Yeah, that first one is pretty sexy.
Yeah. It's like the very first one is pretty much a vagina. It's straight up. And then it cuts to right where we left off in the last episode, which is stupid old Harold with his rake. Rake on his face. He's cornered Maddy and Donna, and he's saying all kinds of toxic masculine bullshit.
He's like an incel in this scene. He's
such an
so
incel.
gross. Like,
ew. He says,
I thought you were different. You made me feel I could return to the world and find something decent, pure. But you're just like all the others. You lie, and you betray, and then you laugh about it. You are unclean. You are contaminated to me.
I thought you were pure, you contaminated me, like, come on, please, dude.
And I even just, like, I gave my soul to you, or like, what are you talking about?
You made me believe I could trust people again. You didn't seem to trust her very much at all. Like, you wouldn't let her even touch the diary.
Right.
He's just talking a bunch of bullshit. Ugh, I hate Harold. I hate Harold so much. I'm glad to see James on this.
Right, that's pretty bad. That's like, yay, James comes in.
And really all he does is distract Harold long enough so that he, like, gets out of the way.
Right. Also, like, James was, like, watching this whole scene. Like, he sure took his time.
Yeah, he's like, wait, I want to see where this goes.
Yeah.
Let's hear him out.
Wait until, like, Maddy screams. Like, we get a good Cheryl Lee scream, though. She's such a good screamer.
That's true. She is fantastic.
Well, I like your description of him as an incel. That actually makes me like the character more. I don't like the character, but I like that he's in the show as just like a shitty dude.
Yeah.
The purpose of him. Yeah. I feel like we were supposed to be charmed by him before, but now we're supposed to see him as not this. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure, because they do seem to try and play for sympathy later when he kills himself.
Do they play for sympathy for him or for the girls? Because they probably feel pretty bad about him killing himself. And definitely was because of them.
Right.
I mean, I don't want to say it was because of them. That doesn't
make direct cause and effect. What do you think it was? Orchids went bad? His copper...
I mean, he's an unstable dude.
Right.
Yeah,
It's not going to take him much to do that.
Right. If not them, it would have been someone else at some point.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not how they think about it.
Right.
Yeah.
They feel responsible and sad about.
I mean, I think going back to were we ever supposed to find him charming? Like, I think maybe he's just supposed to be someone that a teenager would think was sophisticated, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, Donna thinks he is.
I mean, yeah, he's
Very-
still interested in teenage girls. Like,
Right.
he's a special kind of creepy dude.
Right, but that's what I mean. I don't think we're ever supposed to like him, but he's supposed to be someone that a teenager would like. Like,
Yeah.
kind of a groomer, basically.
Oh my god, yes. Way to call it. Damn.
All right, I'm on fire tonight.
Yeah. He says that they were laughing behind his back, which is absolutely not what has ever happened. He says all kinds of bullshit, but that's the one that really stuck out for me. Are you just making shit up right now, or is
Well,
there
that's
something
like a
you
thing,
thought?
like toxic dudes are like really
Right.
triggered by women laughing, but even that, the idea that a woman is laughing at them in any way, like that's a
Yeah.
real toxic dude trigger.
But they never did. There's like no laughter at all in this
Right.
house.
Yeah. Yeah, all those like neuroses are way ahead of their time. Like all this stuff is more
Yeah.
modern.
Right.
In the 90s, we didn't know about any of this stuff, like groomers and
Like if he didn't
toxic
kill himself, he
masculinity.
would have gone on a shooting spree. So
Right.
it's pretty, or something worse.
Yeah, it's good that he has agoraphobia, as it
sure
turns out,
is.
because he
You don't
would have
want
done
that
some
guy out there.
damage.
Yeah.
Twin Peaks has got enough problems as it is.
Right.
We don't need another serial killer.
We
Right.
sure don't. So anyway, fortunately, James revives. I can't believe I'm saying that.
I don't know how Donna does not manage to get the diary. Like the
She
you know.
tries.
I know she does. She
She's
tries,
like,
but it's really
grabs it and clutches
yeah.
it, and
Yeah.
James pulls her in the other
Yeah.
direction.
No, I mean like I saw what happened, but
Yeah.
I'm still like, how did you not hold on to that?
It sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll get it, but
That's kind of a plot driving device to go
Yeah.
back later and find him hung.
yeah, that's true. I mean, you do need to set all that up. Otherwise, there's no reason. Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess there would be a reason to go back there. He like basically tried to assault 2 teenage girls, but
Right.
I don't know if they would have considered that a crime at that time or not. It's hard to say.
Right. But they might be interested just because, you know, he was close to the girl that got murdered.
Yeah. Although they weren't before when she mentioned it.
Pretty shoddy police work
Yeah.
all around.
Oh, I know.
That's-
I know. Later on in the he's like, you're the best police officer I've ever known. It's like, yeah.
Wow.
It is a
As
low
we've
bar.
seen some other cops in Fire Walk
Right.
with Me, and we know that, like, the cops around here are... Harry actually is one of the better cops, and that is not
Right.
saying much. Whew.
Yeah,
Better
he
than
actually
Sheriff
does-
Cable.
Yeah, oh my god. ACAB City.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. Fire Walk with Me. What an exciting episode that will be.
Yeah.
Oh, after they leave, I love that Harold does some stress misting.
Yeah.
It's like...
It's really good.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
Then he howls. Yeah, it's wonderful. They sort of distort his voice. It's like you can't make him scary though. I don't think.
No, he's not scary.
No.
He's just
You
Yeah,
can only
even
make
if you
him
do the
pathetic.
like David
Yeah.
Lynch slow down,
Right.
he does love to do the slow down thing with people howling.
Right,
And,
where they sound like monstrous.
yeah. He's terrible and scary, but like not in a this is a monster kind of way, just more like this is a toxic
he's
masculinity
just bad
kind of
news.
creepy way. Yeah, bad news. We don't need this guy in our lives. We get a scary river and an owl transition to the bookhouse, where Coop is carrying in a strung out Audrey
Oh.
and not taking her to the hospital for some reason.
Right.
But instead to the bookhouse. Why? Puts her on a bed there. I don't know, maybe because he already knows he's in trouble, but...
Yeah, maybe. That's what I was just thinking.
And then there's like some random dude in the back. Is that Joey?
I think it's that other bookhouse boy.
Yeah.
Cappy.
And Hawk and Harry are there. And Audrey's having a bad trip.
Mm-hmm.
Really
She
bad.
looks beautiful, though.
I know.
So heavy. My hand in my throat. It hurts me. God, it hurts me. That cold. I can't breathe. Help me. Please help me. I'm sinking. I'm sinking.
Right. It's all right, Audrey. I'm right here. Audrey, I'm right here.
I pray that you would come.
Most gorgeous OD of all time.
Yeah. Her hair and her makeup are like perfect, you know?
Yeah.
Man.
She's so cute in that little pink sweater. Is that what she was wearing before?
Yeah, I guess she's been wearing it a while.
I don't remember what she was wearing when they shot her up and they carried her out. I kind of thought she was wearing more like one of her
One-Eye
Jack outfits. Yeah.
She talks about tongue so heavy, really like gross imagery.
Yeah.
Hand in my throat, black cold, sinking.
There's quite a lot of poetry in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
There is.
Like just images instead of sentences.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah, it's very effective. I mean, it's kind of telling you, like, she's probably recounting some stuff that happened, but then also having a bad trip. And then Coop's magic touch somehow, like, pulls her out of it, which is amazing. Like,
right, yeah.
Audrey gets over heroin so fast. She comes out of it and says, I prayed that you would come, and that's so sweet, because she literally did.
Right.
Really nice moment between Coop and Audrey. And then we're back outside Harold's as Donna and James watch Maddy drive off in that fantastic car.
Oh, what kind of car is it?
I don't know.
Is it Leland's car?
Oh, it is Leland's car.
The convertible?
That's right. It's the convert. It's the
The
vert.
convert. The vert?
The vert.
Is that what we call
Is that
convertibles?
your slang for
No, it was Brandy Pratchett says the vert.
The vert. Does she have one?
She used to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a nice one.
Be a hot con.
But the scene is so annoying.
You've got to shut the fuck up, Jim.
God, and it
Just
plays
you and
that
I
dumb
fucking
song.
start
I
playing
know.
in the background, and then you don't even need the lyrics. You just had to hear the lyrics one time, and then it's in your head forever whenever you hear the stupid guitar riff.
It's like if we could put our hearts together and just keep them that way forever, we'd be safe no matter what.
You and me?
From now on.
Let's go to put our hearts together.
I
Like a
know.
necklace, like a broken friendship necklace. Put it back together.
James is so bad this episode.
They definitely should stop trying to help with the criminal investigation.
They really should
Right.
play off on that. Yeah.
So-
I mean, he does have a point, I
Yeah.
guess, there.
No more plans, okay? No more going off on our own.
He seems like a normal dumb kid to me in this scene.
In
He's
this
been
scene,
through a
yeah.
lot.
I mean, I guess that's fair. That is literally what's happening.
After Laura died, everything just went by kind of fast, you know? It's hard to know exactly what to believe in.
Yeah.
But when I saw you tonight, I knew exactly what I believed.
He's a dumb kid who's been through some shit. But we don't have to hear that song every time Donna and James have a moment, I don't feel like. Especially since it's weirdly tainted by the fact that when he plays that song, there's three of them in the
Maddy's there,
room.
too.
Right.
It's like, how is that their song?
You can be plural, so, you know, just you
Exactly.
two and I.
That's two ladies, diddly diddly dee.
That's a
That's a
mashup,
play.
yeah. Just you and I, two ladies mashup.
Cabaret classic.
Yeah. Back at the station, we're in Harry's office, and Coop is left Audrey resting comfortably. Well, Harry's going through some mugshots. It's really funny that Coop says Audrey's through the worst of it, where I'm just like, how could she be through the worst of it? I don't know.
Right. How do
It
you
just,
know
like,
that?
having seen Trainspotting, which obviously came out after this, but it's just like, that's my understanding of heroin is very different than what is happening with Audrey.
She's through the worst
She
of
almost
heroin
went on heroin, and
yeah.
now she didn't die, and she's fine. She's totally not going to need to sweat it out for the next, like, week and a half.
Is that just for addiction? Like, if you just did it once, do you go through withdrawal or anything, or are you just done with? Oh, you do.
I think
I
you
don't
do.
know.
That's why
I
it's
don't
so
know.
instantly addictive.
Oh.
It's like you feel amazing, and then you feel like absolute shit.
Ugh.
And then you're like, you know, it would be really good right now. More
To
heroin.
feel amazing again.
I don't think that America was aware of the
Yeah,
of
we
what
weren't really
happens
steeped
with
in the
heroin
opioid
yet.
crisis yet.
We were all naive to that. So just her, like, getting over that one
Yeah.
trip.
She
As
just
long as
had-
she doesn't die from that first injection, she'll be okay.
She just needed 20 minutes of bad Renault dreaming,
Right.
and then she's okay. I mean, I guess we don't go to Twin Peaks for the realism, do we?
Well, and also he could just be wrong.
That's true.
Like-
Kip is wrong about stuff. It happens.
What year is this?
Yeah, he's super self-assured. He always thinks he's right. Like, he's just like, it was this close to a lethal dose. Like, you don't know that.
Right.
They were trying to make it a lethal dose. He's right in the sense that, like...
Why would they not have
that.
made it a lethal dose? They were just cheaped out on it. Yeah, right. They're like, we can afford a lethal dose. That might be. Yeah. I bet, like, Blackie skimmed a little bit. Maybe Blackie was like, yeah, this is enough for her.
Yeah, she's a tiny girl.
Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah. Blackie saved her life then.
Did one good thing. And her miserable life, Blackie.
What happened to Nancy?
According to actress Galen Gorg, Nancy is alive and well and plotting revenge on Coop for the death of Jean Renault.
Sorry, Nancy. Hardly knew you.
There's a real staffing shortage up at One Eye Jackson.
It seems like business in disarray.
There's no managers. Everyone is fucking around up there now.
Yeah.
All the managers are dead.
Yeah, who's in charge now?
Jean.
Jean ran off, though. Yeah. He's never really worked there. He was, like, kind of a contractor they brought in.
Yeah, but who else? I think he's in charge now.
But he's missing.
I'd forget what happens to him. I guess we'll figure it out later.
He gets killed.
I remember him getting killed.
There's a confrontation later between Coop and Jean. So Cooper, at least, he starts to feel a little bad. Cooper needs a little bit of humility because his self-assuredness definitely gets him in some trouble.
Mm-hmm. I went out of my jurisdiction. Twice. I violated my professional code, and now Audrey is paying the price.
He is wrong in the sense that he thinks that if he hadn't gone gambling there, Audrey would have been okay, but she was actually already there.
Right.
He doesn't know that, but she was already in trouble by the time he got there with that stupid sting with the disguises.
Right. Yeah, I guess I didn't realize he thinks she just got regular kidnapped, sort of.
Yeah, because he didn't find the note for days after getting shot, and Ben was not going to notice Audrey was missing unless someone brought it up, so...
Right.
So he's a little bit wrong about that, but... I kind of like that. There's not that many shows where a character is just totally seeing something wrong and they never get corrected.
Right.
But Harry especially isn't any help because he's like, you did the best you could. Don't overthink it.
And she's back. All's well that ends well is basically what Harry's saying there.
You got her back. And she's gonna be okay.
Harry, this isn't the first time my actions have brought suffering to someone I care about in the name of doing what I had to do. Damn it, I should have known better.
Doesn't change the fact that she's here now, not up at Jackson, with a needle in her arm.
And they toast over some coffee. And I don't think that's the best advice, Harry. How about, learn from your mistakes or something else? Don't worry about it.
Right.
You should probably worry about it.
Keep on keeping on, Coop.
Yeah. It is great, though, that all Coop needs to know is that, all he needs to hear from Harry is that he was on that surveillance tape. Mm-hmm. And he works out the entire
He does
plot.
put it all together really fast. I like that.
Yeah, they're both doing some good police work here. Even Harry is
figuring
out who Jean Renault is.
You remember the guy. Right. You've seen him before.
Right, that's good memory, right?
Yeah, that is pretty good. Good job, Harry. I'm not going to say that very often.
Right.
Oof. Not even this episode, but you did some police work. Does Hawk even have any lines in this episode? I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
No, he's just standing
there. There's a lot of meaningful glance exchanging with Harry over Gordon, which we'll get to. But first, the falls are really raging at the Great Northern Hotel. I like that it's like a fresh shot. They didn't do that very often. They use a lot of the same shot at the back of the Great Northern, but this is a fresh one with a pan. Coop meets Ben at the hotel with the briefcase full of money. He tells Ben a lot of what he already knows about the One Eye Jack situation, but
Ben didn't know that Blackie got killed.
Was murdered.
He has no reaction to that at all.
He raises one eyebrow.
Right.
He's like,
Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely
he's trying to hide his reactions.
Right.
He's not supposed to know these things.
Good poker face.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's pretty good.
It seems the brothel's madam was at least partially responsible for her kidnapping and subsequent blackmail.
Did you arrest her?
She was killed before I could question her.
No.
Murdered by a man named Jean Renault.
This Jean Renault. Did you catch him?
He escaped.
Too bad.
But Coop knows there's bullshit the whole time. Right. That's one of my favorite things about the episode is just all the sidelong glances that Coop gives at him of this fucking guy.
Right.
He hates him
pat on the shoulder when Ben hugs him.
Yeah, he's like at one arm.
Ben has no personal space this episode.
No. Yeah, motif is just Ben hugging people and people not enjoying it. The recipients being reluctant, and it's fun.
Until a singing and dancing Leland gives him a hug.
Yeah.
He really likes that.
I don't know if he really likes that.
Well, Ben hates it, but Leland is
But,
really...
yeah, Leland's like, no, I'll hug you.
I assume
Yes.
Bob is really enjoying hugging Ben.
Yeah, it's definitely for show. That's the whole thing. Bob is on fire. He did not know that his daughter was recovering from a drug overdose. That was quite a surprise. That's his first big reaction of like, oh, what? But he's easily assuaged when he sees that all of his money is in the
Right.
briefcase.
He's like,
And I think
this
that
all seems to be fine.
Yes,
Exactly. Everything's in order. He counts his money, and then when he hugs the briefcase,
Oh my god.
as he walks exit stage left, it's really funny.
Extra special hug for that briefcase. At the Johnson home, Bobby and Shelley are wearing their
jeez.
meeting outfits, I guess.
Yeah.
They look great for a meeting in the Johnson house. It seems like Bobby has funny teenage ideas about what looking like a grown-up
It's time to wear a
entails.
suit. Yeah, we're having a meeting. I'll wear my suit.
I got the suit for the funeral,
Must be the
so I might as well
funeral
wear it
suit,
again.
Right.
Shelley's outfit rules. I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
The jacket
plaid
even? I
jacket?
do not
think
like the
she
plaid
looks
jacket.
So hot. I don't know.
She looks great without the jacket, but the jacket is not good.
I like the look of the
And
jacket over the blouse.
But the
I don't
insurance
know.
guy has basically the same. Why are they both in red plaid jackets? It's so
Red
weird.
plaid jackets is for sure a motif.
Oh,
because
for sure,
Josie's
Josie
wearing
has
them
one later.
too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really like it. I like that look for Shelley. She's the only one who's pulling it off, honestly. With all the red plaid jackets, it's like who wore it best? Shelley Johnson.
Oh, I don't know. No, I feel like Josie wore
I think
it better.
insurance guy.
Yeah.
Insurance
Wow.
guy. His name is Tom Brockman.
Oh, I thought that was Ian.
Oh,
He's
the
the
actor's
character.
name is Ian Abercrombie.
Ian Abercrombie.
Yeah.
I thought that was the owl.
It's a better name for an owl than for an insurance agent.
Now I kind of want a pet owl to name Ian Abercrombie.
How is Leo alive? Are they feeding him intravenously sometimes? Or
I think
how?
they do
spoon feed him
They spoon
sometimes.
feed him
Oh,
later,
okay.
yeah, because he spits it out and
Gross.
it's gross. There's a bit of two teenagers and a baby kind of vibes later on. You know, when he starts the new shoes thing. And it gets pretty wacky between those two. Those three, I should say. It gets pretty
Right.
wacky.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning of that.
It's a strong beginning. I really like this.
Yeah.
The scenes of them in this episode are pretty good.
The old-timey wheelchair that Leo's in. I'm not even sure it's a wheelchair. It just looks like a chair.
With wheels.
Yeah. Maybe it is. It's just like
They
an
just
office
I think
chair.
attach
it's,
your
it's
wheels
just
to
an
a chair.
antique wheelchair. It's
Yeah.
probably just the cheapest wheelchair they could find.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's supposed to be the cheapest wheelchair they could find.
Yeah, because
I mean, because they had metal wheelchairs in the 90s, so it
definitely did.
it wasn't state of the art even for the time.
Yeah, that's the idea. Plus, David Lynch just has like a thing for old technology.
Mm-hmm.
Like Gordon Cole's hearing aid, which we'll get
Right.
to in a little bit. And then like those ham radios that are behind Shelley in that scene. Like there's all those ham radios in the bedroom with the clown picture. The decor is just insane in this episode.
Oh, I thought the
There's
clown was decoration.
The clown is decoration.
Oh, like their weird party?
Yeah, because I
No,
thought
there's two clowns. Well, there's a clown painting above the bed.
Oh, okay.
So I
No,
think-
that's just permanent art.
I think Leo just likes clowns, and they're
That
like,
makes sense.
"Let's get
Yeah, that
Leo
checks out
really
a
well,
clown party."
Right, because he loves a clown.
And it's a party for
Pretty
Leo.
thoughtful of them.
Yeah, it is. Especially after they find out
They
they're
really
making
tried to
$10
get stuff that
money.
he would like.
Yeah.
They go all out for this guy who they really
yeah.
don't like very much.
They're going for the familiar stimulus, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Before that, they find out that they're not getting as much money as they thought.
Yeah,
they thought
not
they were
even
getting
close.
$5,000 a month.
They get 700. That is nothing.
And Shelley still has to quit her job at the diner because she needs to care for Leo full time. Although I really do feel like if at some point Bobby's like, you could probably just leave him alone. And I'm like, yeah, you probably could. He's literally doing nothing.
Right.
And like, who cares if something happens to him? You don't get your $700?
Right.
Bobby's hair is doing a lot of acting in this scene.
Yeah, his hair's wild in this one.
It's got a good head of hair. It's like very thick.
Well, Shelley has great hair too. I mean, they're a really good hair couple.
She's all hair.
Yeah.
Like their hair is half of her body weight, I think.
I definitely think you could draw just their hair, the two of them, next to each other, and it'd be like iconic. You'd know who that was.
I think you would need also Shelley's eyebrows. They're so good.
They
She has
are
really good
Long
eyebrows.
eyebrows.
Yeah.
They are. It's a good eyebrow game for that era, especially. That was a thin eyebrow time, and she was keeping them thick. Love it.
It's weird to me that eyebrows go in and out of fashion.
Yeah, it is.
I would
that
agree
is
that
weird.
eyebrows are always in fashion, but the width of them is
Well, that there are eyebrow fashions.
Yeah,
That's
like,
what he
now
meant.
thin eyebrows are in fashion. Now thick, it's like your eyebrows are your eyebrows.
But you can mold them however you want. They're hair on your face. Eyebrows are facial hair that everyone has most of the time.
I know. I guess that makes sense. You can carve yourself a goatee out of your eyebrows. It's no weirder than having a beard or not.
In fact, I feel like when you're in the Mike scene and we're really, really up close in Al Strobel's face, I think you can see where he has his plucked unibrow.
His unibrows plucked out.
Maybe a motif his eyebrows. I don't know. A backdoor motif. What else about the Johnson house? There's like a new picture by the phone. It used to be a kitty, and now it's like a doggy and a bow. I don't know who keeps...
Who's doing that? Yeah.
The pictures by the phone.
Yeah.
They always have to have some cute animal over there.
I think they just keep it the same.
You think?
Maybe somebody keeps taking things from the set because they like it.
Oh, maybe. Maybe.
Somebody's like, oh, I love this. I'm taking it.
That very well could be. It's like later on in the Blue Pine Lodge, I'm like, those steins are cool. I would definitely have stolen lots of shit from the Twin
the
Peaks.
steins are yeah.
Yes.
Unless I worked in continuity.
And in season 2, like, this was a huge hit, and everyone knew it, so people probably did want to, like, get things off set.
That's true.
They probably had trouble keeping props around.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of cool props.
Yeah.
Just all the taxidermy that's everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that they just have the one, like, gun rack with the goat and the hooves. And they just move it between Coop's room and the Blue Pine Lodge set. It seems weird that they would have two of them.
The one that Leland, that he pulled the little fur from.
The little white thing.
That
whatever
weasel.
That was.
It's like...
Was it a white albino
I think
weasel?
it's a fox.
Or what are those animals that they make furs out of?
Mink?
Yeah.
Ermine?
Yeah. Oh, I think Ermine's
white, made out of
yeah.
fox. Is it a mink?
I don't know.
Or is the animal called a mink or a mink?
There's a mink that's an animal, yeah.
That's maybe Googleable.
My old boss grew up on a mink farm.
Gross.
Yeah.
A mink farm?
Yeah, they raised
minks to make them into coats.
Fur out of,
yeah.
That seems like a pretty grisly place to grow up.
Yeah, I would think.
When she told it to me, there was a lot going on in her face. So like, oh,
wow.
I guess you have some memories growing up on a mink farm.
I feel like
both positive and negative.
Stoat is also an animal that they make furs from.
Gosh, it's not easily Googleable.
It's a stole. Let me see. Is that a stoat? Oh, they're cute. Definitely make things out of them.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it was
is
a
that
stoat.
What it is?
Maybe I
Looks
don't.
like a
I
stoat.
don't know. Let's see what an ermine is. Oh, an ermine is a stoat.
Okay.
So many names for these guys.
Are you a mink, an ermine, or a stoat?
I don't think a mink is the same thing. I think a mink is a totally different animal.
Sure, a lot we don't know about this topic.
Maybe we should move on.
Maybe.
One more thing I want to say about the Johnson thing. It's really funny that Tom Brockman is like, you should basically baby-proof this place.
Just the outlets. Only the outlets. That's the only issue
I'm not worried
here.
about all the exposed wires. Or
Right.
walls.
Also, what's going to happen with the outlets? Like, he's not even moving.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's very strange. He's pretty sus,
It's a
this
pretty
guy.
funny line.
Well, everything looks to be in order. You might want to childproof those electrical sockets.
Yeah, this guy's hella sus.
I think this whole scene is for comedy.
Yeah, he's like, the cost of healthcare is through the roof, really. I think maybe somebody's pocketing some shit. There's obviously
some
shady
shady
stuff.
Definitely some shady healthcare costs going on. I think it's a good commentary about...
Again, like,
Yes!
before its time.
ACAB and healthcare is a racket, way before its time.
Although I would argue that Twin Peaks' stance isn't ACAB, it's just our
I don't think they
interpretation
have
of what's
it.
happening. Their stance is like,
Yeah, I don't think they're ACAB.
all cops are well-meaning, occasionally bumbling, good Americans or whatever. There's no good acronym for that, but...
We should go back and listen to everything you said and make that the acronym.
In the return, I think the cops are more corrupt and incompetent, even.
Yeah.
But the cops we have in Twin Peaks are incompetent.
Oh, I know.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, maybe it is an ACAB stance. I don't know. I want to ask David about that.
Yeah.
Or Mark. Mark's the only one who answers questions. Get in touch, Mark, first.
Get in touch, Mark Frost? Is that Why'd she say it like that?
She's trying to do an accent, maybe.
Oh, is that her
Irish?
Green Bay accent? Is Mark Frost not American? Does he have an accent? So that
I misspoke and I ran with it.
it was almost like the Target lady voice, kind of.
It is.
Get in church, Mark!
Oh my god, it is the Target lady. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Alright.
Oh, the scene ends with Leo making a scary noise. That's very scary.
Yeah.
We don't want that to happen.
I like how that scene goes from completely comedy and fun to very scary.
Yeah.
I think that was like my, we'll see what my ends up
No,
being my feeling.
Pretty
Maybe
scary.
some of us might want to give an award to that moment.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, don't forget, this guy is a killer, and if he becomes better, you don't want that to happen.
Right.
We want him to be as comatose as possible. Good reminder. At the police station, Donna is talking to Harry about Harold, and I really love it when he calls Harold Howard.
Yeah, that's such a burn.
Donna, we already have Laura Palmer's diary.
No, this is her secret diary.
And she gave it to this Howard Smith?
Harold.
I've already forgotten this
Right.
name. And then he gives some dumb analogy about the boy who cried wolf.
This is not at all like The Boy Who Cried Wolf.
Yeah. This is children meddling in a murder investigation, which is not okay. But it isn't The Boy Who Cried Wolf, because there's definitely like...
There's definitely
there was
wolf.
a wolf.
Yes.
There's wolves everywhere, honestly.
Yeah, so far they've been wolves every time.
Yeah.
Right.
But I do like it when he's like, are you and James up to something again? Because obviously.
Right.
I'm telling you, we're up to something. Get a little slow on the uptake, Harry.
Wow.
I just said we planned a heist with this guy.
Right. Harry's not listening.
But we don't have to deal with that too much because Gordon Cole's...
Yay!
Excuse me, I'm looking for a Sheriff Harry S. Truman.
You found him.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a Sheriff Harry S. Truman.
That's me.
Federal Bureau of Investigation, Regional Bureau Chief Gordon Cole. That's a real mouthful, but I can't hear myself anyway.
I can't believe this is the first time we've seen him.
Yeah, I know. We've only heard his voice on the speakerphone, a very old-timey looking speakerphone.
Mm-hmm.
But here he is in person, Regional Bureau Chief Agent Gordon Cole.
I know that's a mouthful.
The hearing's gone. Long story. I won't be telling it to you, though.
Do we ever get the story of what happened to him?
We don't. In fact, I did some deep diving today to see if there was even in any supplemental literature or anything, but it's a mystery. Mark Frost surmises, which is funny that he even has to surmise, but that it was a gun range accident when he was in the academy.
Oh.
Like a rookie mistake.
Seems like the most likely reason for hearing loss. Shots near your ear.
But there are lots of theories that he actually really isn't even all that deaf. And he uses the box to hear other frequencies. And tune into that creepy electrical shit. And then also to disarm people. And there's lots of theories about why Gordon does all that.
Where does Shelley fit into those theories? Because he can hear Shelley, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
might be a little flirty.
Just a little Casanova.
Cole likes the ladies.
He does.
He sure does. And that's when he was a little bit less sure of himself, maybe. So he's like, I need a gimmick. I can't just... Unless he just uses that, that's how he gets the French lady. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a gimmick for David Lynch.
It seems to
it's
work.
a way to cover up that he's not an actor. But it's very funny.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, is that, you think? Because
that's what I always thought. It makes the performance funny and great without him really having to be much of an actor.
Oh my god, baby. You might have cracked that shit.
Good.
Damn, that's a theory I haven't heard. I really like it. So it's like a meta situation, because it's like his character is kind of putting it on. Right. And then also he is.
When you told me that theory, that people think Gordon's putting it on, that made me think about Lynch, but it is. It's like Lynch is putting it on.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he literally is. That's terrific. There's that one moment in The Return when Albert gives bad news, and Gordon says, "What?" And Albert says, "You heard me," in like in a really low voice. Mm-hmm. And then Gordon answers him, and that's kind of what made all those theories like really explode. And then the other thing is the thing that he's using is an old piece of technology from 1948, and it apparently was only for moderate deafness. Not extreme deafness. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, there's lots of evidence to support the theory that there might be some real hearing loss, but he's really playing it up.
Yeah, well, he must be. Because he makes, I mean, there's a lot of jokes that, in this episode about him not hearing what people say.
It's so funny.
And it's funny, yeah.
It really is. Vicuna.
Sounds real good, Sheriff, but I already ate.
Oh my god, I love it.
Vicuno is the fur. What kind of fur is Vicuna?
That's more like wool.
It's like a fancy cashmere kind of thing.
Yeah, like a nice jacket.
Because it was Josie's.
That makes
From
sense.
the attack on Tulpas.
Right. Yes, yes.
Why? Can we talk when he says, I have Albert's lab report, and it's like so tiny? And apparently there's so much stuff on it, because he says the vicuna and the really weird stuff and some other thing.
Yes.
So it all on this tiny piece of paper.
And he pulls like a business
smaller
card
than a
out of his
vaccination
pocket.
card.
Yeah.
Also got a lab report from Albert on the one-armored syringe. Albert's never seen a drug like it. A combo. Really weird stuff.
What else does Albert say?
Papers. Papers found near the bloody towel down the train tracks from the crime site. From a diary.
That's
Why is it so
super
small?
interesting. I know, I love that.
Yeah, they just didn't have the right prop. What a real case file would look like on him. They're like, yeah, forget it. We'll just do a card. We have to be fast here.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's really interesting. He didn't even have to have a prop. He could have just been like, I have it
From
for
memory,
you.
yeah.
I'll give it to you off camera. Instead of like, I have it. It's right here. Yeah, it's pretty funny. And yes, of course, this is where he says our titular line.
Yay! Really weird stuff.
Really weird stuff.
It of course refers to the drug in the syringe that Phillip Gerard, the one-armer...
What's the one-armer now?
takes for his schizophrenia, which is actually possession, turns out.
That's interesting that there's something that works for that.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting that like the supernatural obeys the laws of medicine in a way.
I was actually kind of wondering about that. So Mike is staying close to Gerard because he wants to stop Bob, but he made it sound like he was not often possessing Gerard.
Mm-hmm.
But Gerard's taking this medicine so it doesn't happen. And without the medicine, I guess it can happen. Maybe if Gerard didn't take the medicine, like Mike would often choose not to possess Gerard.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't
But
really
I guess
work
Gerard
that
doesn't really
well,
trust
but
that,
maybe,
you know? He's like, I don't want to be possessed, so I'm just going to take this medicine.
Maybe that is the case. And then maybe it does make it hard for him to come in for whatever reason. But it does seem like he can come in if he needs to.
He really does seem to be inhibited by the really weird stuff.
He does seem to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he can maybe influence Gerard behind the scenes, but he can't just fully come out unless the really weird stuff is going on.
The clue to keep him from having the medicine comes from the giant.
Right. Without chemicals, he points.
Yeah, because he knows something about the possession spirits.
Yeah.
So I guess he's been following up on Mike and Gerard. I mean, like, we need Mike's help. Let's make sure he comes back.
Yeah.
I'll plant that in Coop's head.
That's right. He's like, definitely don't give that to him.
I wish he'd said that, but instead they love being
Right.
cryptic.
No.
They love being cryptic.
Right.
No, I won't tell you or explain further. Just
Where's he from? That can't be explained.
well, he just says, I can't tell you that.
He won't
tell it.
He
It's
won't.
just what he wants.
It's like David Lynch again.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you.
I'm not going to tell you
It's
that.
better if I don't.
Well, it's really more like that's a whole can of worms. We can't really get into it. It's like if I bring that up, then we're just gonna get off topic.
Well, this is. I mean, is this the first time that we are told about possessing spirits instead of just seeing them? Because we definitely know that that's what's going on.
Mm-hmm. This is absolutely the first
And
time
it's
it's
first time-
explicitly being said. I mean, this is the most expository
Yeah.
things have been so far.
Which I love because I'm
Yeah.
just trying to understand supernatural.
This is a
parts
real
of Twin
juicy
Peaks are.
tidbit that's being leaked out right now. Well, that's later in the episode, but it's a juicy tidbit. We'll get there, I guess that was organically, but we'll get there linearly. Because first, Cooper comes in.
When he does his, like,
This
snaps
amazing
relief.
snap point is fantastic.
That's so funny.
Agent Dale Cooper!
Gordon, I hope you haven't been waiting too long.
I didn't just get here. I've been waiting the whole afternoon to see you.
He doesn't even look at him, he just points at him.
Like he knows he's right there. So Fonzie. He's so strange.
He's so cool. I actually feel like Chris is so cool in this episode. Like, his hair looks really good the whole time.
Yeah, he looks good.
This is a good Coop-style episode.
Mm-hmm.
Gordon tells him he needs sleep, and he does, but he feels like he's gotten some rest recently because he's kind of back a little bit. I don't know. He's energized by something. Maybe just having actually rescued someone for once. He's on that high from having saved Audrey. Gordon tells Cooper that Albert thinks he's in over his head. There's a whole funny thing about, like, let's talk privately in your office. And he's yelling, obviously.
Right. And Harry comes in and says,
we can hear everything you're saying.
I just thought you ought to know we can hear everything you're saying out in the hall.
I really like his delivery on that line.
Yeah, it's really
It's good. The classic line.
Cooper, you remind me today of a small Mexican chihuahua.
No further elaboration on that.
He asks for it and doesn't get it.
He doesn't get it.
Now, Gordon, what the hell is this about a Mexican chihuahua?
We've got a problem of a different sort here, Coop.
That goes without explanation.
Hey, I said what I said. Did I stutter?
He wants to talk about the note that was addressed to Cooper. That was sent to Philadelphia. They suspect from Wyndham Earl a chess move, an opening move, pawn to knight's 4. Is that a good opening move, Brugos? You're a chess guy.
Yeah, people often start with their pawns. I just recently watched the Queen's Gambit, and I think it's like an Italian opening. It has a name.
An Italian opening?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah. I have an Italian opening. There's something there. I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, it's a logical and good chess move.
Okay.
As far as I know. I don't think I know that much about chess.
Well, you're a resident chef.
I watched the Queen's Gambit.
Well, I didn't. So you're one up on me
there. You go.
Cooper brings Ben to Audrey. She hasn't had a chance yet to tell Cooper what she knows about her dad, I don't think. Maybe she did, though, off screen. But it doesn't seem to matter because Cooper, judging by the look on his face, he seems to know enough about how
he hates Ben.
He doesn't like Ben, even if he doesn't know why. I think Audrey's keeping it a secret because she doesn't really want to get her dad in trouble with the law. Like, she'd rather just hate him.
Or maybe it's more like she doesn't want other people to know.
Right.
So
it's
embarrassing.
Shameful.
Yeah.
She doesn't want her family to be destroyed by outside forces, I don't think.
That's fair.
Even if it's being destroyed by internal forces.
Right.
She'd prefer that. That's kind of what I get out of that.
She's just a kid. This is like a lot of shit for a kid.
Right.
Oh
She's mad at her dad, but she's definitely not, throwing him under the bus right now.
But she's letting him know I'm onto you completely, She's like, I saw so much.
Yeah, right.
Make a man aware of the value of life. Every raindrop, every sunset.
I'm aware of a lot of new things too, Daddy.
A terrible experience, terrible people. The things that you must have seen.
I saw so much.
And
I love her.
It's a good performance.
It really is. And now she just keeps looking over at Coop, and Coop is just like, oh. Right. I'm right there with you. This guy sucks. Ben is horrible. He's just awful.
Good. No personal space, Ben, this episode.
No personal space, and then also he doesn't even know how to be pretend comforting.
Right.
He's like, I really learned a lot about the value of life, and then he talks about like a
raindrops,
life at all.
Right. Or also like, why is she supposed to care about? Now I appreciate raindrops. Like, what the fuck are you even talking about? I was like kidnapped and almost killed, but all's well that ends well because now you appreciate the rain or something.
Yeah, and sunsets. Because you have your briefcase back.
Is he like no personal spacing her? Oh, he
right all over her.
Yeah, it is gross. He's very gross in this episode.
He is so gross.
There's a lot of gross people in this episode.
Yeah, it's a real three-way tie for LVP, I feel like. But I love that she asks for Coop to take her home instead, because gross. But then he's like, let's all go together. I guess it makes sense, but it's gross. She wants a chance to talk shit about her dad, and she won't get it. We get a nice little fun scene with Nadine. Oh, wonderful Nadine's living her best life right now. Yeah. Even though she left the door wide open.
Swellest dress. She holds up the thing that's covered. I don't know.
A swell dress inside the bag, the dry cleaning bag.
I like Nadine's high school girl acting. It's really,
Yeah,
really
it's
fun.
so
It makes
funny.
me think this is what you were like in high school.
You know what I was thinking? Tonight, maybe we could go park by the lake and neck. Wait a minute. We don't have to go anywhere. Why, we can just stay right here.
Me?
Amy Malone.
Oh, wow.
Redhead,
Not
jumping
even
around.
a little bit, no.
Being Ernie.
I love that, but not
No.
really, but that's a fun thought.
I love that she says she wants to neck, which
I
is
know.
just such a funny word for making out.
And like, as she's like, let's drive somewhere to do that, and then she realizes that there's no parents, we could do it here. Like, her jump onto him is so funny.
The leap onto the
Yeah.
couch and kneeling on him is really great.
Also, like, her punch to the stomach of him is really funny.
You know, silly.
The whole, like, she's super strong and super horny and thinks she's a teenager, like, all of it is just so funny.
It's great. I love it. I know this storyline gets a bad rap, but I don't know why, because it's really one of
What?
those
It's
things.
awesome. Yeah, there's so
very
many
funny.
dumb storylines
Does it get
this
a bad
season.
rap?
This is
I
a
think
good
some
one.
people think it's dumb, but
I can see how anything that doesn't have to do with Bob and the main A plot
and it really has
is
the
a distraction.
least to do. It's the most tangential storyline, really.
Yeah.
But it's the only good Hurley is Nadine Hurley.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, we've really soured on Baguette on this podcast.
I guess. That's all I want is Nadine.
I mean, it is the most soap opera-y. Having amnesia
Yes.
and
The affair.
the triangle, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very soap opera-y and very tangential to any of the supernatural Twin Peaks-y
That's true.
A-plot, but it is such wonderful weirdness that it is like inherent. It's really important for Twin Peaks to have these kind of scenes that are really funny.
Sometimes you need a break from all the scary.
Yeah. Imagine if it was all Gerard being creepy.
God.
It can't be all that. You got to go from one to the other to make it Twin Peaks.
Yeah, and there's lots of different. It's one of the types of levity. There's lots of different types of levity, but in general, I feel like the show does a good job of balancing back and forth between the creepy and the funny.
Yeah.
The eccentric funny, and then like it throws a lot of funny at the wall, and not all of it sticks. But
I remember at the time there being a lot of people like not understanding the eccentricities of the show, like thinking it's like, oh, it's just weird, but it was mostly the weird stuff was like the horse. Like the horse imagery for no reason, or just the giant, or the...
It's not for no reason.
Oh, you'll tell us all about it.
Everything's there for a reason.
I think most people didn't understand what the horse is all about. It kind of predated Lost, Smoke Monster, and Polar Bear, and like what are these things? Don't have any resolution to them, and they don't in Twin Peaks either, as far as I know. Like the horse never looks to the screen and says like, "This is why I'm a horse." Yeah, I'm a symbol of this.
Yeah, it's like symbolic, atmospheric.
Yeah. But I think the comedy is really off the wall and great.
It is. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what people quote, really. People don't quote the scary stuff as much as
As
all the funny
Cooper's
shit.
love of coffee and pie.
Yeah.
Right.
And the stuff Gordon says. Like Gordon is a meme machine.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We're at the Blue Pine Lodge. We've got more fake cousin stuff. That's another motif, is fake cousins. Fake cousin Bobby.
Cousin Bobby and I will be here full time.
And then
Right.
this is fake cousin Jonathan. Fake cousin Jonathan has possibly done a sexual assault, which is not great.
Yeah, I never
Yeah,
noticed that
what's
until
going on
this
there?
time,
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't get it because Josie's kind of slutty or whatever, but
Well,
it's
it's
not good. She's
Yeah.
crying, so it seems like it wasn't good. Even if she
Yeah.
originally said yes, it wasn't good for her, so.
right.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice it before. It's pretty subtle because it was on
Yeah,
network
network
TV,
television.
so they don't show any assault at all. They show him
No.
putting on his pants.
Mhm.
Right.
And her laying on the couch with her
Right.
dress unzipped.
Right.
Her wild dress.
Yeah.
Shoulder pads, my God.
I mean, I like that dress more than the Shelley's coats.
Wow. I'm so anti-shoulder pads.
They're just so
So
dated.
crazy.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're kind of lumpy. They're not even very good shoulder pads.
Right. Well, I mean, the point of them is like they're supposed to make your waist look smaller. Josie's fine. Like, you know, she doesn't need those shoulder pads.
I mean, I guess it's a severe silhouette that was fashion forward.
Right.
Yeah, if you're going for severity, like Murphy Brown wearing shoulder pads made sense to me. She's,
I could see that, yeah.
She wants to be taken seriously in a man's world. She's wearing shoulder pads.
Right. Yeah. I guess that like you're supposed to be like imposing in some way.
Right. I like
Yeah.
that was good costuming. But as far as like a fashion thing, I never got shoulder pads.
Yeah.
You know what I want in women is shouldery. Look like a linebacker.
Yeah. I'm going to get shoulder implants.
Cousin Jonathan does a lot of neck grabbing, which is very threatening.
Yikes. He is scary.
He is. He's a real ceiling fan contender, this guy. He says he'll kill Harry if Josie doesn't get on a plane to Hong Kong from Seattle at midnight. And if it flies out of Seattle, she better...
Right! That's what he's saying.
Really? I can't get a plane from Spokane to connect? Or...
Right.
That's a long drive.
And she was just there.
I know. God.
Yeah, how's she going to get to
Like,
Seattle?
you couldn't have timed this better.
Right.
They have to drive.
It's a one-way ticket. She can leave the car there forever.
I mean,
abandon the car in Seattle.
I think that's the last thing on her mind is how am I getting to the airport.
He's going to give her a ride to Seattle.
I think so. He's walking out with her bags later.
Okay.
I think that's
they're going together.
Yeah. I guess they're not like concerned with getting to the airport 3 hours ahead of time or anything.
Right. Well, this was pre 9/11.
Yeah. So. Oh yeah. You could just. They don't even have to take their shoes off.
Right.
We could carry guns if we wanted to. It's fine. I feel like Joan Chen's really good at squeezing tears out of her eyes. Mm-hmm. That's hard.
Her character's on the verge of tears for the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Maybe in the entire series.
And that's like good character work.
There's like very few scenes when she's in control and not either acting like she's not or really isn't. Like the character.
Half her distress is fabricated.
Right.
Character distress. Then I think she is a real with Harry at the end there. She's an enigma. Like you said before, I think Baby Brugos.
Baby Brugos.
My father's name is Baby Brugos.
Please.
It's gotta be Brugos.
We should have more scenes with just her being herself.
I like it so much better when she's using her regular voice. And
At the lake where James finds Maddy just staring off into the lake. I guess she's
watching someone fish. I don't know
there or if you found her or what. But they have a scene that I desperately wish was with anybody other than James.
Right, I know.
It's such a waste of Cheryl Lee. And
it's going to be like one of her last scenes.
This is like the last time we see Maddy not being murdered. And is this goodbye?
So is this goodbye?
I guess it is.
Yes, it is. But she's still so wonderful and perfect.
Yeah, she's great. James says like the dumbest stuff. You know?
Yeah.
When we were together, just talking, I felt something. I just wasn't sure.
You looked at me and you saw Laura.
I guess I did.
Want to know something kind of strange?
What?
I liked it.
Like, I feel like you could have almost the same scene with Donna.
Yeah.
You looked at me and you saw Laura. It wasn't one thing or another. For a while, I got to be somebody different.
I could feel her thoughts, like our brains were connected or something. And when she died suddenly, I got the chance to be Laura. At least other people saw me that way. Like the way that you looked at me.
What was wrong?
It wasn't one thing or the other. For a while, I got to be somebody different. But now I'm just me again.
She's perfect, and the whole scene would play so much better if James were on the other side saying James shit. Like, it was wrong. His catchphrase.
Right.
So she has a scene kind of like this with Leland in a previous episode where she's explaining what it's like to look just like.
It's definitely on her mind a lot.
Which is more successful, I think, that other scene, because Ray Wise and
Yeah,
Leland are such
two
interesting
amazing actors,
Right.
together.
But this made me once again want to work on this theory of mine that probably is not what anyone intended, but that the reason why she looks exactly like Laura Palmer is that Laura Palmer was a Tulpa creation that was modeled off of Maddy.
I love that.
Right. And just like whatever the mission of a good Tulpa is on Earth, that was Laura's mission. I don't know if we know anything about her, like, really being a young girl.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
And Tulpas can kind of implant memories or like, make people...
And definitely the Palmers could be working with planted memories of having a child that they'd never had.
Yeah, because the Secret Diary starts when Laura's 12, on her 12th birthday.
I'm positive that's not what they were thinking.
No, I know. It is super fun. And also that's around the time when she starts getting assaulted. So it's like very plausible. Mm-hmm. She was sent to counteract Bob. Mm-hmm. Bob is already in Leland since he was a boy. I really like this theory. This is a very good theory. Thank you for bringing it to this podcast. It makes sense, especially the whole thing about how we're saying our brains were connected.
Right, there's that conversation that made me think about. It sounds like something more than just being cousins, you know?
Yeah. Identical cousins.
Right. Who has ever had an identical cousin?
I know.
Just that one time.
Right.
On that TV show.
Where there will definitely be a drop, I'm sure.
Still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
I wonder if David Lynch liked that show.
It's fun inspiration for Twin Peaks.
Right.
the one inspiration. The Patty Duke Show. What a banal name for a show about identical twin cousins. The Patty Duke Show.
Who was Patty Duke?
She was the actress who played identical cousins.
Well, but she must have been somebody before that, because they wouldn't call it
she was like
unknown
a child
actress
actor.
show.
I mean, she's Sean Astin's mom.
She was a famous child actress.
I guess.
Because you wouldn't have a Patty
So
Duke
it'd be
show.
like the Shirley Temple Show, but
Right.
then the premise is that she's identical or whatever.
Right. Or Seinfeld.
It was basically Seinfeld.
A show about nothing, except the cousins are identical.
Right.
It kills me, that scene, because it's like what keeps Maddy from being my MVP. Spoiler alert. Because James just ruins it. He just is there ruining it.
I don't feel like James ruins this for me.
It's just hard sometimes, you know?
How?
Well, if you really love someone, it's like this bright light is shining on you all the time. You're right in it, and it's great. But I just don't think you can be that way all the time.
Sure you can.
Well, I want to.
He just seems like a dumb kid with incomprehensible ideas about love.
Right.
That's what a high school guy could easily be like. It's definitely what James has been like all along.
He does say the dumbest thing that doesn't
He's
okay, that whole,
makes you think that all the
stupid
time, but it can't be like that all the time.
Just
what?
Yeah, and that's in character for James, right?
Right.
Using bad poetry to explain feelings you don't understand that are pretty basic.
Yeah, and I definitely think he confuses horniness for being in love a lot of the time. He's
Yes,
like, I'm in love with this person.
yeah.
And it's just that he has a boner and that's it.
High school boy.
And then I do like her response when he's like, it was wrong, and she says it wasn't one thing or another. You're right, that is a good exchange of like, this kid doesn't really understand that everything's nuanced. He really doesn't really ever learn that lesson, I don't think.
Yeah. Good lesson to learn. Things are not one way or the other usually.
Yeah, the world is very complicated, especially this world.
Right.
But what's not complicated is that Ben Horn is bad news.
Ugh, Ben.
Back in Great Northern, Ben's in his fireplace room. Toasting with Josie.
Josie in the good red plaid jacket.
I'm on favor of the red plaid. I like it on everybody.
I
I
like it on
personally
Josie.
wear a lot of red plaid. I don't wear jackets. I don't have a red plaid jacket, but I just think it's a good pattern. They toast some really like wrong looking wine. That wine looks really like off.
It's definitely not wine.
Yeah.
They're
It's
drinking
like cranberry
juice.
juice.
It's juice.
Right.
He's like, let's toast. Why are you here, by the way?
Right.
And she says, you gotta pay me, like, right now, because I
have to go back, yeah.
And he kind of explains his scam of, I need the Icelanders' money first. And then he's like, oh wait, I have this other money. That reminds me, I need to do something about having two investors for the same property.
I don't think I understand business very well. I don't really get what he's trying to
I
accomplish.
think you understand it as well as David Lynch does, which is not that well.
I think he's just trying to get both people to invest in it.
Right.
But I don't know what his end game is. Both people think that they own it.
It's like they think they're buying it, and he's thinking of them as contributors, and he's going to own it.
Mm-hmm. They'll be like minority shareholders of the Ghostwood Estates.
Yeah.
The Icelanders and Tajimura.
But they seem to each think that they're just going to own it outright.
I mean, again, like Tajimura, I assume it's a fake check. I don't think it's actually $5 million from...
It's definitely not from a Tokyo bank.
It's not real $5 million from Catherine.
Yeah. I think
a check would bounce. I think that check would bounce, is what I'm saying.
Well, it has to just be fake because it's a cashier's check.
Mm-hmm.
So it can't bounce.
Okay.
Like, it just,
but it's just
isn't real.
It's just a fraudulent check. But, since it's Jerry that's checking up on Tajimura, he probably won't find anything because he seems like an idiot. He's probably just going to go enjoy some Japanese food that he likes a lot.
He's definitely just eating, fucking around.
Right, yeah.
He seems to just enjoy the job.
I can't wait for him to get back from this trip.
Yeah, she's just fucking with him. I can't remember exactly. He still hasn't done anything with the check except he signs it over to Josie. Isn't that such a funny idea that you can just sign a check over to someone? I don't know if anyone could even do that anymore.
I think you can. I don't know.
Can?
Well,
cashier's check, you seem to know what they are.
Well, a cashier's check
like
is basically cash. It's like a certified check, kind of.
You just cross out the name and write a new name on it? How do you sign a check over to someone?
I think, to sign a check over to someone, you endorse it on the back.
Right.
And then I think you write something else, like,
right.
to,
Like, this is for Ben.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't remember the check procedures.
Check procedure, yeah.
No, those are all back in the 90s.
That's all gone now.
That would be Venmo.
That would be so much simpler. Yeah. I do like their little thing when they each let go of the papers that they're holding. Mm-hmm. When she has her hand on the check like that, and they like, I like that.
That all happens after their mutually assured destruction.
Right, close talking right in each other's faces.
Right.
Yes,
and the stalemate.
Carry around our blackmail keys with us,
right.
So we can pull them out and show them to each other.
There's a lot of props going on in this scene. There's like the deed to the mill and the cashier's check and the keys.
Yeah.
The glasses of wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, the prop master was busy.
Mm-hmm.
Stressed out probably. Like, nobody steal anything.
It's very funny that he says stalemate and she says your move.
Stalemate.
Your move. Cash.
What? What do you think a stalemate is?
And then he says,
there's not a move. Right. What?
Well played.
What game
What is this?
Is it like sort of chess? It's supposed to be chess talk, but it's...
I mean, stalemate is chess.
Yeah.
Your move could be anything. Well played could be... yes, I mean...
They're like trying to lead up to this Windermere chess thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right. It's a little bit of a chess theme.
But it's like, I wrote it. I think this is a chess thing. Chess lingo. From people who don't play chess. At the Johnson house, Shelley and Bobby are having their fun party. They have put balloons and streamers everywhere. It must have taken them a while to set all that up.
Right.
And they drank most of a bottle of Ack Daniels or whatever.
A.K. Daniels.
A.K. Daniels. Alaska Daniels, maybe?
Oh. And they got pizza from the Hot Box.
That's a great name for a pizza shop.
It is great.
Hot Box.
You're right.
Let's order some Hot Box.
The prom master was so busy.
Oh my, yeah, with the kazoos. Is it a thing Leo loves kazoos? That seems genuine. They're like, we got stuff you like? Yeah. Kazoos.
Dr. Hayward. I know, I love that they're talking about Dr. Hayward's advice. Like, why is he an expert on this?
Right.
Oh, he's the only doctor in town.
He's the expert on everything. Oh my god, it's so funny. Familiar stimulus. Streamers, balloons, party.
Yeah. Hot Box pizza.
Yeah,
She loves birthday parties with balloons every day.
Watching me make out with his wife.
Yeah.
That is familiar
That's
stimulus.
what brings him back a little bit, so.
It does.
Yeah.
That's right. And do they really want that? It seems like they don't.
They really shouldn't.
It is really funny when Bobby really feels bad for a second. He's like, I don't want to exploit him or nothing.
Right.
Maybe you're right. I mean, I don't want to exploit him or nothing. Sorry, Leo. I sort of got carried away. No need to make your rehabilitation more difficult than it already is. Doc Hayward said you needed familiar stimulus. So we just figured, what the hell? Kazoos.
You don't?
Yeah.
What do you think
what do you think
exploit
the
means?
insurance fraud thing was?
Right. What What
I
did you want?
don't want to kill him with a cake is probably more accurate.
I do like that he lists all of Leo's transgressions and says that he's
Mm-hmm.
getting what he deserves, and I fully agree with that.
Don't let anybody ever tell you you don't know how to treat a woman, buddy. This is your life, Phillip Johnson. You deserve it. Every damn minute.
Leo has such a turnabout. Payback's the motherfucker. Because just when he gets out of this situation, that's when he meets Wyndham Earl. And that's the last thing he does. Leo was a bad guy, but now he's in a prison of his own.
Yeah, he's not the biggest bad guy.
No.
Turns out.
It's true. I like the line, good thing we didn't light the candle.
Gotta be more careful. Good thing we didn't light the candles.
That's pretty cute.
That's very funny. They're so cute!
They're really cute together. Like Shelley's little faces when he's
Right.
talking about like making her do the laundry and stuff. She's like,
Yeah.
it's really cute.
Oh, I love these two. The Great Northern, Ben and Leland, are walking into Ben's office.
Leland.
Ben says, just when you think Ben can't be any more gross, he says, I have a much better sense of what you've been through. So
God. Yeah. Totally the same.
I barely noticed my daughter was missing, and then when she came back, I almost lost some money, I guess.
Right.
He's talking about the money. He's like, your daughter being murdered is comparable to me almost losing a briefcase full of money, but then I got it back. Phew! I have an appreciation for life now. And he wants to make sure that Leland is 100%, and Leland's like, I'm even better than that.
I'm 100% Ben. 110%.
Yeah.
110. You could tell because of how neat my
He's
suit is.
very neat. Very neat Leland right here.
Hair combed back.
But he also has a lot of lawyer knowledge right now, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like Bob accessing Leland's memories or talents.
Well, so what this kind of tells me, because he's like, after he does this, I have several shady ideas on how to drag this out.
Yeah.
Ben's like, my Leland's back.
Right.
So Leland's always been a shady lawyer,
Yeah.
I think is what we learn here.
Definitely. I mean, if you're Ben's lawyer,
Yeah, so he Ben's got a shady lawyer.
But like, we get an idea of what he was like. He has ideas about hiding funds in the Caymans and escrow holes.
Escrow,
and,
yeah.
That's like, that's what he's always been good at. So I guess it makes perfect sense that like, he's always been morally bankrupt, and so therefore a perfect vessel for Bob.
Right. I really want to know why he takes that little tuft of fur and puts it in his pocket.
It's so interesting.
Hey.
Is it just because the thing is white?
I was thinking it has something to do with his hair being white.
He's like, I like that.
I just think it's funny. It was like he has a really funny look at it when it's behind him. He's like,
Yeah.
he is
really, he and Mustafi are really funny.
So
it's
funny.
just a really funny scene.
And this is where we realize what the fuck that whole fur thing was all about. Which I feel dumb that I didn't remember. I don't know why. Like, I feel like I've watched this series before and then been like, why is Leland pulling on the fur? And
Right, yeah.
And then this episode comes up and I'm like, oh yeah, he was playing the long game. And then I forgot again. There's just so many things that are easy to forget. Like,
Yeah.
Bobby killed a guy.
Bobby killed
Leland stole the fur for a reason. Leland, like, looks at the fox. It's kind of a funny thing where he does, like, a double take of the fox behind him. And then he turns around and grabs the little thing of the fur. And you're like, Leland's being crazy and weird.
Yeah.
But he's actually being crazy like Fox, like an Arctic fox.
Whoa, what?
Good one.
That's where that comes from, I think.
So yeah, real smart. Bob's a smarty pants.
Yeah.
I like the way it's shot too, kind of low at the couch, but not too low. It's like you'd have to be kind of kneeling to be there, though.
The couch is very not soft. Super firm. So he doesn't sink into it at all.
It's an office couch.
Yeah. It looks like a comfy couch, but when he's sitting on it, it doesn't look right.
No one ever looks comfortable on that couch.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting couch, because like that's one where Coop comes in and spreads his arms out really wide. But doesn't look comfortable.
Back, yeah.
It's kind of he realizes like, oh, you can't get comfortable on this couch.
Is not,
I'm gonna sit up and still try to look menacing somehow. Yeah, I'm sure there's some like business reason why he has that couch there.
That's smart. Yeah, office couches shouldn't be very comfortable.
Yeah, especially if you're into intimidation and all the shady shit that.
That's more if you want to be professional. Like you don't want to be having a meeting with somebody who's like.
You don't want someone
like.
Bobby comes in and lies
Right.
Like Nadine jumping on the couch.
And then after Leland delivers the goods about all the shady ideas, Ben gives him a hug, and Leland's like, no, thank you.
No thanks. Ben is all up in everyone's space in this episode.
Yeah, because earlier, actually, he's kind of kissing on Josie. And I kind of
Right.
really hate that everyone
Yes.
seems to think they can just manhandle Josie.
Right.
Or am I forgetting? I thought Ben and Josie were illicitly hooking up.
I don't think she wants to be. I think she will if she thinks it will help her business. But,
Yeah.
like, that's not who she wants to be hooking up with. The only person she wants to be hooking up with is Harry, for some reason.
Seems like her move is to be hooking up with people, and she does seem to like Harry the most.
I think she just is
Genuinely.
open to it if she feels like it will further her cause.
Yeah.
But I don't like that that's the go-to for the people that she... I mean, I guess she's going to be doing business with bad people. She's a villain.
Right.
It's hard being a villain.
Yeah.
Especially a woman villain.
Lady villain. Yes,
Lady
that's
villain.
where the lady villains.
Yeah.
It really is. Look what Catherine has done to do.
Oh, God. I hate that so much.
Ooh. Back at the Blue Pine Lodge, Harry walks in on Josie walking out with Cousin
Okay.
Jonathan, although then she makes up a new lie on the spot for some reason.
Oh, Harry, I don't believe you've met my assistant, Mr. Lee.
Pleased to meet you. I'll take these to Carl.
I don't know why she doesn't just stick with this is my cousin Jonathan.
Well, also like that she's like, oh, you haven't met my assistant, Mr. Lee. Like, how would she have an assistant at all?
Yeah.
And that Harry has never met or heard of, you know?
Right.
Like, as much sense as me saying that to you. Like, some random guy in my house. This is my assistant.
I have a million follow-up questions. Fortunately, she knows her audience. Harry does not have a million follow-up questions. Just a couple. You can't leave. I love you.
I love you.
And what a sweet burn when she says,
Just you can't leave.
You saying this is the police?
Like, am I in trouble? Is that a problem, officer?
oh, shit.
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough times you can say I love you that will make her change her mind if she says that. Like, she doesn't want him to die, but I don't think she loves him. Really.
No, I don't
I think
think
she
so.
just fancies him.
Right.
I think she knows he's not a creep like Ben.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of like how James was for Laura, like sweet but so dumb, you know.
Yes. That is definitely a type in Twin Peaks. In the Great Northern Dining Room.
Yes.
Mike lights another cigar. He's had a lot of cigars
God.
this episode. Meeting with Mr. Tojimura, a.k.a. Kathy Martell. Let's just call it Kathy Martell to Kathy Martell. That's what we've got here.
Would you like an after-dinner drink, Mr. Dudgemore?
No, thank you.
She says, you have my cashier's check. Why don't I have any paperwork? And I love that she knows immediately when he starts telling his shtick about, like, well, it's because of all these reasons.
This is a small community. I'm being careful, trying to be sensitive to local concerns. You must understand the impact this project will have on the community.
She's like, whatever. But then she makes up a backstory about her character, which is so interesting.
Right.
I know a little about fire. My family was at Nagasaki.
Your family died in Nagasaki? You know, the fire, Nagasaki?
It's not the A-bombs that gets the fire afterwards. I think that's true.
I mean, there's probably fire involved in that, but it's weird.
Yeah.
A lot of these people benefit from, like, the lack of follow-up questions, you know?
It's really easy to lie to people in Twin Peaks. They won't.
That sounds right to me.
Sure. Ooh, sounds bad. I think she wanted follow-up questions though. 'Cause she's like, I made up this whole backstory of my character. In fact, I was hoping you would ask about it, but instead they're interrupted by Lena.
Yes.
Excuse me a moment.
My cup of tea.
Singing Getting to Know You. And Very well, I might add.
Yes, Leland is a lovely singer.
Yeah, he
very
makes that
charming and
sounds really nice.
yeah.
It really does. I'm not a big fan of The King and I, but...
No, it's a pretty corny song, but you do it right. It's fun.
And what a stylish microphone. I love that microphone.
I don't really understand why Ben is upset about this at all. Why do they have a piano player and a microphone, you know?
It seems like it's open mic night at the Great Brothers.
I mean, it doesn't. He's acting like, oh no, Leland losing it again, crazy Leland. And it's like, this is a pretty normal thing to do by Leland standards, you know?
Like, here murder trial, people are going to testify that you
Why are
sang
you-
a lovely
right.
show tune in my hotel.
Why are you singing by the piano, you know? Like,
Yeah, as you know, singing is illegal in Twin Peaks.
apparently, I mean, he is overreacting.
As is crowd work.
Where might you folks be from, sir?
Right here in Twin Peaks.
Right here in Twin Peaks. That's terrific. How about those steeplejacks, huh?
How about those steeplejacks?
Where are you folks from? Right here in Twin Peaks.
That's
Why are they? Are they just going out to eat at the Great Northern and they live in Twin
Yeah,
Peaks?
yeah.
Wow.
I think so. I think it's good food
Probably
there.
the best restaurant in Twin Peaks.
It probably is. It's that or the double R. It's like, I don't want to eat meatloaf tonight. I want something a little nicer. Oh my god, yes. The Great Northern audiences are the best audiences in the world.
Great Northern audiences are the greatest audiences in the world. Thank you. Good night.
It's Bob, like, having such a good time. Bob
Right.
loves Broadway.
Broadway Bob, that's
Don't
what they
even
call
get
him.
Bob started on The King and I.
He's here for fun.
He really is.
Get Happy also. No, Get Happy's not from The King and I too, is it?
No. He's all over, because, like, later on we get some Oklahoma. Surrey with the fridge on top.
Wow.
He really loves.
It is really funny how Ben's trying to drag Leland off and he just holds on to him. Like, finally Ben's personal space is affected,
Yes.
you know?
I know. I'm no fan of Bob, obviously, but I don't mind when he fucks with Ben Horn, right?
Right.
That's a good use of Bob's shenanigans.
Well, and it's just like when you're watching this just for the first time, you still think that Leland is just this guy whose daughter died, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my god. Okay, so
Right.
here's some interesting shit. I watched a video recently, and this is something we've wondered about aloud on this podcast. Like, how much did Ray Wise know about his character?
Mm-hmm.
And I surmised that he and Lynch had a little secret talk and he knew some stuff. But this is what an amazing director that David Lynch is, and also an amazing performer that Ray Wise is, that he didn't know anything until he shot the murder of Maddy. That's when he found out
Wow.
that it was him. And they shot three
murders of
for that.
Maddy.
3 murders. Maddy had to die 3 times.
By different people?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had
And
Ben
Ben
Horn.
Horn.
Ben was one of them, yeah, because they were like really setting up Ben to be the big bad of the show.
Yeah.
And he is definitely a bad guy, but he's not Bob.
He's not Bob bad.
Who was the other
That's
one?
pretty close.
The
And
third.
then Bob.
Oh, okay.
Which we see.
Which
so
is
we see
part of-
those
yeah,
two.
those
We
two are
see
in it.
those 2.
Mhm.
And he was very sad about it. I guess he thought that he was just playing like an unhinged, grieving father this whole time.
Uh-huh.
But it's kind of amazing the nuance that he's able to put across without having vital information about his own
Right.
character. It's so incredible. Now I kind of just want to restart the series and watch it with that in mind.
I'm
Like,
sure you will.
let's first start with the fire walk with me. But we're at the police station where the officers are interrogating Gerard, and he's begging for his medicine. And they sort of have some exposition about the medicine and the schizophrenia.
The drug found in his possession contains trace elements usually found in haloperidol. Do you suffer from schizophrenia? Multiple personalities?
It's too late.
Why did you lie to me when I questioned you?
It wasn't me. Don't you understand? It wasn't me. Give him the drug, Chief.
Not yet.
If we give him the drug, Coop, you'll never see the other side.
He's having a seizure, and then Cooper is like, don't give him the medicine!
Yeah.
And it's funny because also Gordon doesn't want to give him the medicine, but he has the syringe ready anyway, just in
Right.
case someone tells him to. He just wanted to do that little syringe squirt.
I think
so.
so.
Cinematic.
And then I really love Gordon's line in his, when he says, if we give him the drug, you'll never see the other side.
Yeah. Ooh. So meaningful.
I know.
Oh my god. Hey, boy, does he see the other side?
Uh-huh.
There is no need for medicine. I am not in pain.
Who are you?
My name is Mike.
What are you?
I am an inhabiting spirit.
Who is Phillip Gerard?
He is host to me.
There we go. We have Mike.
Yeah,
Oh my
here
god,
comes Mike.
Strobel kills the scene.
Oh, it's so scary.
Kills it. He becomes another he is acting as another person, Al Strobel, acting Phillip Gerard, and then suddenly he's this creepy ass dude, Mike.
It's so scary to me when he and Coop say it in unison.
Yeah, they chant the Fire Walk With Me poem
the
together.
Gifted and the Damned.
Through the darkness of the future past, the magician longs to see.
One chants out between two worlds. Fire, walk with me. I took off the arm, but remained close to this vessel, inhabiting from time to time for one single purpose.
To find Bob.
To stop him. This is his true face. But few can see it. The gifted. And the damned.
The first part.
Right at the camera.
Yes,
It
and
says
there's
the
a
damned.
rare breaking
Right.
the fourth wall. So rare. I can't think of another example in Twin Peaks. Looks right at the camera.
Bob
Somehow
does.
says, like, oh, besides Bob. You're right, Bob. Catch you with my death bag.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I forgot about catch you with my death bag.
We try not to talk about that.
What does Bob want?
He is Bob, eager for fun. He wears a smile. Everybody run.
Okay, Mike is like so into riddles and rhyming and loves to use his tongue a lot. He explains that he and Bob are basically parasites who need hosts, but especially Bob.
Bob requires a human host. He feeds on fear and the pleasures.
Pleasure from show tunes and fear from murdering.
Show tunes are the most fun.
They are so fun. I gotta give him that. Like, I don't know if I didn't ever invite him to karaoke, but
He'd love
show
it.
tunes are fun.
Maybe if we did another musicals night. Instead of scary.
Only then. The picture is Bob's true face, but few can see it. Only the gifted, i.e. Cooper, I guess. He's gonna see it. Who else sees it? Sarah.
Sarah's seen it.
And the damned, Maddy and Laura. And then he says that Bob has been here for the last 40 years.
40 years, yeah.
And right now, he's in
A large house made of wood, surrounded by trees. The house is filled with many rooms, each alike, but occupied by different souls, night after night.
And Cooper's like, I get that riddle immediately.
Got it.
The Great Northern Hotel.
And then there's like a scary... And then that's it. That's the end of the episode.
Yeah, a lot happened this episode.
What an exciting episode.
Yeah.
We talked about some motifs, fake
Yeah.
cousins, plaid sport coats.
Ben trying to hug people, Ben being all up in people.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Roadhouse is proud to welcome
Ceiling fan. Let's just
I'm gonna start with ceiling fan.
Yeah.
For me, it's Coop and Mike saying that together.
Whoa.
That's really scary. It's really scary seeing something scary come out of Coop like that.
And he remembers that. It's a scary
Yeah,
poem.
it's very scary.
Mine was the very end of Shelley and Leo and Bobby scene where he sort of like wakes up a little bit and Shelley's terrified.
Yeah.
The abrupt going from cute and fun to how scary Leo is there. That's, for me, what's most scary about this one.
That's a very good choice. I would pick that, except that Al Strobel is so good that he makes breaking the fourth wall and saying a line like, and the damned actually affected the
That's true. It's pretty bad writing, but really good. Like
it's so cheesy, and
totally
like
works.
there's just very few people that can pull that off, and he really does. This guy, this local actor, who's like never been in anything else really, except
One
for
armor.
regional theater.
The one armor left.
He lives in Portland now. I looked it up.
Oh, nice.
I know. I thought maybe he would live in Seattle and it'd be really fun to run
Oh,
into him
yeah.
somewhere. But no, we'd have to run into him in Portland.
Well, I mean, Portland's fun.
Portland is pretty fun. I love that guy. Fish in the percolator.
Oh, there's so many this time.
There's so many. It's a fishy episode. I thought I would have an answer by now after talking about it, but I still am torn.
Well, I can
Gosh,
start.
there's a lot.
So,
Yeah.
my top 3
Oh, wow.
were... I always loved Jock Nance. So when he recognizes the song and wheels in his chair and points and says, "King and I!"
The King and I.
I love it. The stoat taxidermy scene with Leland is great. And then Nadine. The whole scene with Nadine.
Yeah, the swellest dress.
Right, just being so excited about getting to pretend to be married.
And necking in their own home.
And jumping on him in the couch in particular. That moment is delightful.
We did forget to talk about Pete and Catherine having their moment at the bar.
You like musicals? No.
Not even Fiddler on the Roof? It made me weep like a little baby.
I find adherence to fantasy troubling and unreasonable.
It's just so interesting. Like, Pete is so drawn to this strange
He just
person.
knows it's her somewhere.
It's there so that they have a chance to interact when she's in disguise.
Yeah.
And have him, if not recognize her, at least be drawn to, redrawn to the person.
Absolutely, yeah. It's very interesting. He doesn't know. He definitely doesn't figure it out because she
Right.
surprises him later.
Mm-hmm.
It's really funny. And then his whole like thing about drinking milk.
Right. He's drinking milk at a bar. Yeah.
They're gonna drink milk, and like he didn't know that Leland was singing that night. Maybe he knows.
Well, I
the
guess they
bartender.
always have a piano player.
That's true.
That's the
It
entertainment.
does seem like open mic night. I wonder who was singing before Leland got up there.
I don't think it's open mic night. I think there just is a microphone there. I don't think anyone was supposed to be singing. That's why Ben is like, "What are you doing?"
Well, he should get some singers.
I know.
It's great. It's
Just,
fun.
just let Leland sing as much as he wants. Leland's a great singer.
You're gonna miss that singing when it's gone.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, what's your fish?
Oh, I have a top 2. I mean, there are so many. I really like Coop's like Fonzie snap when Gordon is there, but mine is the way, because I just love Leland so much, is when Leland holds on to Ben and doesn't let him go. It was really funny.
That is really funny. I just gotta go with Gordon.
Yeah. I'm glad you
Just
did.
pretty much anything Gordon says, of course. But I really like the Vicuna. Sounds really good, but I already hate.
Right. Is that supposed to be because Coop was telling Albert to get tuna? Because Vicuna rhymes with tuna. Like, that's what he thought, yeah.
That's right.
Like, his first thing was his expense of the tuna sandwich. And
Maybe it's just like David Lynch likes tuna melts, and
Mm.
so he's got tuna
I
on the
want to
brain.
follow up on that.
I bet he does. It seems like the kind of thing you'd like a good American sandwich.
Is that what he says will just kill you?
No, the cherry pie.
The cherry pie, okay, yeah.
But he did get the tuna melt first.
All right.
He had his big boy food before he had his
Yeah, he had his growing food.
LVP.
Oh, jeez. Now, sometimes we're allowed to have James be LVP, right?
You're never allowed to have James as LVP.
Oh, no, I have to be
Because
this.
James is always the LVP.
James never brings value. He's never a valuable player. It's kind of easy for me. This one is Harold.
That's also who I had.
Oh. I feel like no explanation necessary.
I don't like his character.
Right.
I have Harold or Ben, because Ben is just so terrible, but I've picked Ben before.
Mhm.
Lots of chances for
Yeah.
Ben to be LVP. Has been, will be again.
Yeah.
He's a real creepy bad guy.
Harold will never have a chance to be LVP again, so let's give it to
Clean
him.
sweep
All right.
for Harold.
Yes.
Has there ever been a
Bingo.
clean sweep? I
There
don't
hasn't.
think
This
so.
is the
Wow.
first one.
Wow.
We unanimously hate you, Harold. You are all alone. MVP then.
I will start. There's a couple contenders, but MVP is the one-armed man.
Phillip Gerard.
Phillip
Or
Gerard.
Mike.
Or
Wait,
Mike.
which one?
Yes. The whole
Just the whole
entity, yeah.
Would you like to?
I mean, well,
I mean,
because
we've
he's
kind
so
of left it
effective and so scary, but then also, I like when stuff gets explained a little, we move things a little bit, you know? Like, he's like, yes, Bob is here. He's been here for 40 years. He's nearby. You know, like, he's leading them to Bob, which is good.
Love the explanation.
Yes.
Really, his character does us a great service by explaining what's going on a little bit.
Yes. And it's true that without chemicals, he points.
Mm-hmm. He's like, this guy.
Yes.
That's true. He just put his finger right on the
Yeah.
I gave this one to Ray Wise.
Oh, I love him.
We give it to him a lot. Usually you give it to him, so I'm glad I'm giving it to him this time when you've already not given it to him.
I know. All my notes always say, yay, Leland.
His singing is fantastic.
Oh, gosh, he's so good.
Like, evil lawyering is just great, and his takes with the stoat.
They're very funny.
100%. Everything he does is...
I don't know that Ray Wise is a one-take wonder, but I just imagine that he is. Like, I imagine literally everything he tries. David Lynch is like,
good.
I love it!
Yes.
Another good one, Ray! That's my David Lynch. I'm going to have a good David Lynch impression by the end of this podcast.
All right.
I
didn't know that was a goal.
I just realized it myself. I also picked Al Strobel.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing. I do want to give an honorable mention to Maddy because I love her so much, and I feel really bad that I haven't given it to her before she dies.
Oh.
But...
I'm trying to remember if I gave it to her. I know
I've
I gave
given
it
to Laura.
I've given it to Laura.
But I do love Maddy. I
feel like maybe I did. I don't know.
Her scene partners are always shit. I wanted better for her.
Right.
We all did. We were all rooting
for
Maddy. But yeah, Al Strobel. God, he's so good.
Yeah.
I want more.
Does Maddy ever have any scenes with Cooper?
I don't think so, no.
Seems like a missed opportunity.
It is. Yeah. I mean, I feel like he would notice that she looks a lot like Laura Palmer.
I think that's part of the Tulpa magic, is people don't seem to understand. And that's what happens later with Cooper and in The Return, I mean, when he's Dougie. People barely seem to notice he completely changes.
You're right. They're like, Dougie's off today. Yeah. Not that Dougie's a completely different person.
Dougie's a zombie.
Right.
Hey, Dougie's a little off today.
Yeah. I feel like that's like a commentary, a social commentary of like people explain away weirdness because they don't want to get into it.
It does feel that way.
They're like, it would be work for me if I followed up on it.
Call for help, Dougie.
Exactly. Hey. Yeah. Al Strobel. Great job. Really Weird Stuff is hosted by Annie Malone and Jessica Baxter. Music by Julie Cruz, Angelo Badalamenti, and Jessica Baxter. If you enjoyed Really Weird Stuff, please take a minute to rate and review us on your favorite podcast app. Follow us on Instagram at Really Weird Stuff Pod, on Twitter at Really Weird Pod, and on Facebook at Really Weird Stuff Podcast. Thank you for listening.